Okay, so I'm sure we'll get some stragglers trying to find their way into Zoom, so we'll get it started now anyway. So first of all, everyone, if you don't already know me, I'm Dave. I'm the founder and owner of the Crypto Den. I've brought on the team tonight. We've got Cass, Dids, Skins, Adam and Pete. You've probably seen them around on the Facebook group. If you're in the Discord, you've seen them in the Discord. These legends have been sharing so many charts. If you haven't been watching it, or if you haven't been following some of their trades, I highly recommend you start doing so. The amount of content that these guys have been pumping out is ridiculous. So, as the old saying goes, anyone can make money in a bull market. That's fair to say, but not everyone can find trades every single day. And not everyone can find trades when the market takes a downturn and has those dips, because you can counter trend trade, you can make money on the way down. And we all share charts in the Discord and in the Facebook group to try and keep your finger on the pulse a little bit, so you don't have to. And if you don't already know how, then we sort of try and take that on for you. So if you're not in the Discord already, make sure you join. Ad's put a post up in the Facebook group tonight with the links for the Discord, so make sure you get on that after this call. Tonight, what we're going to do is go through a bit of a market scan. So basically, if you don't know what that is, that's how we find trades. So when we're sharing our charts with you guys, there's a bit of a system to it. There's a bit of a process. It's not just we open TradingView and it just lands in our laps. You've got to kind of hunt for it a little bit, and we'll show you how we do that individually. And then once each of us have sort of shown you what our method is, Ads is going to do a bit of a tutorial on Discord for you as well, so that if you are new to it, you can get a bit of an understanding of it, because I know that I always say the first time looking at Discord is like the first time looking at BitMEX. It's just the user, Stephen, you know what I mean? The UI is just cancer to your eyes. So I know it looks pretty crap, and it can be, sorry, it's got two guys waiting. It can be hard to understand. And then if we've got a bit of time at the end, we'll take some chart requests as well. So if there's a certain coin or token that you want us to have a bit of a look at for you, I'll open the floor to you guys, and we'll chart up some charts that you request as well. So that's the plan for tonight. Now, first things first, I'm sure everyone's probably going to want to know the main question. What do I think of Bitcoin at the moment? Was that going to be everyone's first question tonight? Probably, yeah. I thought so. So I'll share my screen with you guys, and we'll have a bit of a look at it. All right, give me a show of hands. Can everyone see my screen? My chart here? All right. Now, I know that we're probably catering for... Hang on, I'll bring up the chat so I can see what you're saying. Yep. I know we're probably catering for a pretty... vast array of people here. So if you don't know how to read charts, unfortunately, we don't really have the time to go through a tutorial on how to actually read them. So just try your best to follow, but essentially each candle is price action over time. Okay, so just follow the best you can. At the moment, we're on a 1 hour Bitcoin chart, and essentially what I'm looking at here is we've had a breakdown in price at this key level. At the moment, all I'm looking at is market structure. So if I carry through this pattern, get out of it. That's showing downtrend as far as I'm concerned. So at the moment, we're looking at retests. And if I go into a 4 hour chart, this is your uptrend. And I'd probably be looking at this key area here for support. So it's had a bit of a go at the 45,000 mark. Sorry, if you see me pausing, it's because people are still joining, so I'm just letting them in as we go. I wouldn't mind betting that we come down to see 42,000. That's my best guess at this stage. I don't have a crystal ball, but I am looking at coming down to retest this previous high over here. So if you were to counter trend trade or short it, you'd be shorting down to at least that level of 42,000. I don't recommend it. I do not recommend at all shorting Bitcoin in a bull market at all. It's Bitcoin will do Bitcoin things, and you'll think you get it right, and you'll probably lose all your money. So what you're better off doing instead is waiting it out, which is the hardest part of trading, is the wait trade, and that takes an extreme amount of patience. And people think they're patient until they start trading crypto, and then the truth comes out. So what I'll be looking at doing here is entering a long position. Oops. With a pretty tight stop to try and clear, to try and avoid that level of support. So that's probably a pretty safe play for Bitcoin at the moment. It could do the exact opposite. It could just decide to do Bitcoin things. But I'd say a pretty good retrace down to this zone at 42,000 would be pretty healthy for Bitcoin for me at the moment. So I'm sure other people see many other things, but that's the trade that I'm waiting for. I'm no longer in a Bitcoin trade at the moment. I don't have a position in Bitcoin. That's what I'm looking at for now as far as the big BTC is concerned. Okay. And where's my chat bubble gone? Just jumping between three screens here. So basically that's my thoughts on Bitcoin. So what I'll do now is I'll share that chart again, and I'll give you a bit of a rundown on how I find trades. So first of all, on the right-hand side here in TradingView, you've got your watch list. Now, you can actually import other people's lists, which I'll post a link to it in the Facebook group for you. But this is basically the list of all Binance USDT futures coins. So you can see as I scroll through, there's a lot here. You don't have to go through and manually add each one of those to your watch list. You can just import the list in 5 seconds. And I'll share that later, and I'll do a quick video that shows you how to do it as well. But basically, because I trade futures, this is the list that I use. You can see here that you've got your Atom Perp here, and then you've got Atom USDT. So it'll still show you non-perp coins as well. But I trade spot and I trade margin. So, but most of the time my daily trading is done in margin trading. So all I do is I come over here to the right-hand side into my watch list, and everything's by default in alphabetical order. And you could sit there and you can go through every single coin, and it will take you hours. And I know because I've spent years doing it. And you just find little tricks and little hacks and little ways to speed up the process. Now I spend about 10 minutes in the morning. I do a quick chart up, do a quick market scan. If there's no trades, I just get on with my day. If I do find some trades, I enter positions, or I at least enter some limit orders or some market orders, and then I go on with the rest of my day. But basically what I do is this little percentage change button here. If you give that a click, it'll change how the list is presented to you. So for example, at the moment, this is showing all the coins that have had the biggest pumps, the biggest change. So ENJ at the moment on the 4 hour, Jesus, I wish I got in on that one. What's that done? It's just done 70%. IOTA, I think someone in the Discord put up an IOTA chart earlier. So if anyone got on that, good on you. But the more you click this, so it'll go from alphabetical, and then the coins that have had the biggest dumps, so to speak. If you click it again, then you've got the coins that have had the biggest pumps. And basically what I do is I go into the dumps first to try and look for long positions. So what I mean by long positions is that's a buy. So if you're trading spot, you're looking at areas to buy. And I'll just go through the top, say 5 to 10 maybe tops. And I'll try and look for things like trend, first of all. Everything's in an uptrend, we're in a bull market, but local trends. So for example, with this one, there's two different ways you can probably look at this. You can look at that as a trend broken, or you can look at it as it's formed support on trend. And the reason I show you that is because trend lines are quite subjective. So most of what I look for is horizontal support and resistance. It's the most basic form of trading. It's the most basic tool that you use, and it's simple. It's price action, and it works. So I just go through here, and I'll look at these coins that have had recent dumps to start looking for support. Areas of support where I can long off or I can buy from. BNB, it's had some massive price action in the last few days. So yeah, it's definitely due for a retrace. And it's vice versa the other way. So if we've got coins that have had a huge big pump, then I'm looking for shorts, because you can have long orders, long trades and short trades on at the same time. In some cases at the moment, a lot of coins are at all-time highs. Some of them are, especially on perp charts, because you don't have that price history. So we call that price discovery. And when you're in discovery, it's really, really hard to find short zones. And it's probably a good thing it's hard, because you really shouldn't be counter trend trading. You shouldn't be shorting unless you really know what you're doing. And if you're spot trading, you can't short anyway. You're looking for buying dips. So I'll see if I can. I had a chart earlier here. So the first thing I look at is local trends. So you can see here we've had a pretty good trend traveling up, and now we've also formed a lower high there. So when I'm doing my charts normally, I don't really draw the lines on it, because I can sort of see what I'm looking at anyway. When I share the charts in the group and the lines are all over it, it's usually for your benefit. Now I look for, key levels of support and key levels of resistance. And I don't like using that. I like using the ray. So I would say right there. And then we'll go to previous highs. So I just like to mark previous lows and previous highs. You'll notice lately as well, I've been putting little X's on my charts like this, and that's only to sort of really show you exactly what I'm looking at, just to make it easier for you to read. Now, you could almost say that if you're trading along here, you might look at it and go, well, it's a little bit too late to get in. And what you probably would have wanted here is entering off this level of support. Because what I'm seeing is a symmetrical triangle, which means if the price action comes down and we do find that level of support, statistically speaking, there's a good chance we're going to have a bit of a bump off that. Now, trading and technical analysis isn't a crystal ball. It's probabilities. It's laws of probabilities. You just got to weigh up those probabilities with your trade plan and your trading style to basically enter positions based on just that. So I'm looking at this going, well, here's some support here. We've closed above this level. So we've got 3 higher lows. Probability of that bouncing off that point and heading back up is actually pretty high. I'm not going to go into all the reasons why, because it's not a training session on technical analysis. But basically, I would be looking to enter down there. If you've missed it, then you just got to wait, because following this pattern, the probability is we will peak to here, probably stick our nose out the top a little bit and start to come back down, where you can then enter again. So the hardest part, like I mentioned at the start of this, is the wait trade. It's sitting there waiting. If you've missed the boat, just wait, because it'll come back again. It's like theme park rides. They keep coming back. You'll get a turn. Just don't worry about it. Don't try and chase pumps. So I'd be looking at that trade at the moment. If you're an experienced trader and you want to counter trend trade, you could probably short from there if you're feeling ballsy. I'd obviously be waiting for a confirmation, so a bearish engulfing candle or something like that. But for now, that's probably the best way of explaining how I find entries, and it's really, really basic, and it's simple support and resistance. I haven't done anything fancy on this chart. All I've done really is draw horizontal and diagonal lines. But even if I remove the diagonals, which I generally do, you can still see exactly what I'm looking at. You can still see higher lows. You can still see those horizontal key levels of support and resistance. And the reason these are so important is because they're nothing but fact. They are price. They're just fact. There's no conjecture with it. It's not subjective to the person that's looking at the chart. So just keep that in mind. I'm not really a huge trend trader. That's how I trade. I could put some Fibonacci on this as well. That's something else I normally do. Go from a previous low, and look at that. We've hit a 618, which is a retracement level for Fibonacci, and then we're trending up. So buying these dips or longing at these dips, that's how I would trade comp at the moment. Hope that makes sense. But basically, how I search the charts is in that watch list on the right-hand side. So, right, over to you, Dids. Your turn, buddy.
Alrighty, I'm here. Should I put my music on? All right. So, first of all, I'll put my charts up. Which one's here?
Sorry if I'm rushing a little bit too, guys. We've just got a lot to fit in a short amount of time. So,
yeah,
just trying to get as much information across as I can.
All right, so you guys can see the charts there. Or have I? Yeah. All right, you guys can see the charts?
Yes, mate.
Yep. All right.
Yep.
Beauty. All right. First of all, I just want to go through EOS and NEO. So let's go have a look at NEO on the daily first. NEO on the daily was a really easy one. It was on the daily. We can see that we had massive resistance here that had not been broken for the past 2 years. So this is one trade that I took right at the point of the break of resistance there, and it just shot up. So in saying that, I'm now out of that trade, and you can see on the left here where my watch list is, I've got 11 pairs here that are highlighted in yellow. So 10 of those I was in, I'm now out of, and one of them I'm in now, and that is VET. So the reason I'm in VET at the moment, and it's going to be a bit hard to actually give anything that is ready to go right now because everything's just pumped or it's actually just come back down. So VET was an easy one. At 11 o'clock last night, it had broken a resistance, retested a resistance level as support. So I was here and I got in at this point of support. So at the moment I'm in this one, but I want to talk to you guys about EOS. EOS is one trade that I have been in for a couple of weeks now, almost 3 weeks. So I just want to kind of go over the importance of sticking to your trades and not getting out of your trades just because you're getting bored with the trade or it's just not going your way. So EOS, I was actually in over here at about the 15,137 mark, and I was waiting for a break of this upper trend line here. Now, it broke that trend line, and then all of a sudden, it literally just went sideways for 2 weeks. It didn't make any moves at all for 2 weeks until it broke this new resistance level where I've put these two circles here, broke that resistance level and then retested that resistance level and then just shot up to my to EOS previous highs over here. So now I'm out of this trade. I'm not in it. I'm not looking to long it. I'm not actually looking to do anything with it at the moment. If anything, with EOS at the moment, I'm looking for either the rejection here and back down to another support level, which would go right across here. At this point, I might have a look at getting in a long here and then for it to go back up. But I'm not looking to do anything right now until EOS breaks up and goes up, or breaks down and hits support, or even comes down even further to previous resistance, which is now support. So as you can see, like I said, on the side here, I've got 11 highlighted pairs that I'm practically out of all except for VET. The reason I'm out of all these now is because BTC at the moment, for me, and this is just for me, this isn't for anyone else, this is just my TA. My TA is showing me we're in a slight bear flag. Okay, so this could, this could still go up and go totally against what I'm saying right now. But we have had a break of sorry, I'll put this on the 4 hour. So at the moment, we've had a bit of a push down, and then we're struggling to get back up. So I'm looking at a retest of this resistance up here, and then possibly, like Davo said, a push back down to support, and then I'll possibly be looking for longs from this area here. But right now, because the market has actually had a big push, and most of these pairs have actually pushed, 10, 7, 4, 5, 3%, up to 40%. I'm not going to be jumping in long when the picture isn't clear. So I just want to go to EOS now. Again, EOS. So the reason I just want to go over why I jumped in on EOS as well is I might just clear this out. If I'm looking at a chart and I'm looking at going long on something, I'm not looking at going short unless my candles are below this 200 EMA on the 4 hour or the 20 EMA on the daily. I want to be above this EMA and then taking this trade up. So the reason why I jumped in on EOS and I didn't get out of EOS was because at this point here, there was a support that was broken, and it was broken really quite hard at this key level over here. So all I was doing was waiting for this to be retested and for me to get in at that point over here.
That's a sexy trade, Dids.
It is a sexy trade. So, and that's how I had my my chart. It was pretty much like that. So at this point, like I said, I'm looking for levels to be support as resistance to be broken and now acting as support, and areas that are hard to break. So at this point, we've got literally the perfect chart, which is now finding resistance. We need to not jump in on a long on this. We need to be looking for either, and I wouldn't be saying any counter trend trades either, especially if you're new to trading. If you're like Davo said, if you want to take a ballsy play at this, you can probably short this down, but I wouldn't. Counter trend trading is just straight out a no-no for me and my trading plan. Look for areas where there's, you know, like for here, you could have gotten in here and played this up to next market structure. But I would not be getting in on this trade until it breaks this resistance here or retest this support over here. This has to go like that, or it has to bounce off. You just don't get in at these levels yet. So,
and can I just make a note there, Div, while you're on that exact point? I'm seeing lots and lots in the Facebook group. Should I be buying now? Should I be buying now? Most of the time when people are asking that, it's after the coin is already pumped. And Did's just really clearly explained why you shouldn't be buying in after a pump. So just keep that in mind as well, because I'm seeing it almost every day at the moment. Don't buy in. Oh my God.
So in saying that, if I want to jump in on EOS right now, I can tell you, I'll put my R&R on, and it'll be a long, and it'll be here, and my R&R will be down here. So you're at 29%. Now, if you're margin trading at almost 30% and you're 10 buy, that's 300% loss. That's just not going to happen. You want to be bringing this all the way back down to this point here and jumping in off that support area right here. You just do not jump in when it's already taken off. The only time you want to be having this R&R up the top here is when this price action over here busts through the resistance, and it has to bust through the resistance with a strong candle. So over here, you don't want it just crawling up. You'll see over here, we've got some big green candles. You want those kind of candles to bust through that resistance. That way, you know the market is in full swing. And at that point, you can bet your bottom dollar that it's going to go up a bit, it's going to retest that line, and it's going to come back up. And you've got your long in, you've got your stop loss down, you know, to a reasonable level so you don't get wicked out. And don't put any short, tight stop losses on crypto, because wicks will just wick you out in a second, and it's happened so many times before. I see it all the time. People are just getting wicked out left, right, and center just because they've got a stop loss. If your stop loss is too big, and you know, for instance, here would be a good area to put a stop loss for 21%. If you had that, then lower your leverage down to 2 buy, 3 buy. Don't go in 20 buy, 50 buy with 20% stop loss. It's going to kill your account straight up.
Death by 1,000 cuts.
Hey,
it's death by 1,000 cuts.
Yeah, exactly. It's crazy. Now the other thing is I'll clear it again over here. We can see that it's having trouble breaking. We've got wicks to the top. We're not going to catch a falling knife by shorting this down. We are in an uptrend. So that would be a counter trend trade. This is basically, if you're going to do that, you've been trading for a while, or at least for a couple of years anyway. That's my point of view. You probably shouldn't. So if you're going to do that, you probably be just above that. I'll put that out again. You probably want to be in maybe around here somewhere, just above those wicks. Very, very short stop and very, very small take profit. You don't want to be putting your take profit all the way down here, or never get hit. So you want your take profit in something like that. But that's catching the falling knife, because this could easily go all the way back up, and then you're out. Catching counter trend trading's a big no-no for me. So yeah. So there's a few charts I've got. I've got nothing to give you at the moment in way of any pairs that are ready to go at the moment or anything like that. Everything's pretty much at a point where it's wicking to the top. We've got a lot of divergence. You know, nearly everything I'm looking at has divergence. So now, if you want to know what my charts look like without, you know, so I don't really want to show you this because it's messy, but these are what some of my charts will look like. I'll have my text boxes up telling me what I see. I go through all these charts, and most of these, there's just too many charts for me just to put a few lines and figure out what's going on. So these text boxes up here are my memory. This is literally my memory. This is what helps me open up a chart and figure out what's going on from that very point right there. So this BCH chart was another win. I think I've actually put a video up, which I've taken down again, but that I showed a video of me charting that particular pair right there. It was a win, took about 400%, and I banked it, closed it, and got out. So I can't really tell you any more from a market scan, and I'm not going to kind of teach how to trade. So
sort of at a point now where it's looking like it's going to have a bit of a downturn. So it's without counter trend trading, which is what we've just told everyone not to do. It's really hard to find good entries for you. So all we can really say is just wait it out and see what the market does next, and you know, start looking at levels of support. Yeah,
levels of support. There's a resistance level here on link. Oh, look here. I'll go back to EOS here. EOS. There's levels of support here that you can have a look at. There's resistance up here that's it's finding it hard to break. So like I said, unless it breaks that and you can get in on a retest, or it comes back down, you're in at those 2 points. So look for those areas if you want to get in on a long. You're not going to short. I mean, if you're short, go for it. You're not going to make much of it. It's in an uptrend. Stick with the trend. Don't counter trend trade. You'll lose your account, and that's my advice. So yeah. So all right. Well, who's next? Who wants to jump on?
Cass, you there, mate?
Yeah, you're muted, Cass.
Stop sharing your screen, dude.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Guys, I know you're asking some questions in the chat box. We'll get to some questions at the end of the video.
Okay, so can you guys see my trading view screen?
Yeah.
Okay, so tonight I'm going to go over, okay, I'll go over this one first. This is alpha. I have already charted it. I can take it all off if you want and redo it.
No, that's right. Just explain it as is.
Yeah, so first up, I find levels of resistance, levels of support, trend lines, patterns, and I go from there. So my trend line here moves up, like we've got higher highs, higher lows, higher highs, higher lows so far. This trade does all depend on Bitcoin. So if Bitcoin does decide to shit itself, it will be invalid. But what I'm looking at the moment, you know, it's respecting 1, 2, pretty much 3, 4 touches. So, and we got, you could say it's a triangle. So as long as Biddy behaves, I'm expecting a move to the upside. First target is resistance. Second target is second resistance. Third target, I actually like to use whole numbers. So I've got like 3.
Can you show how you found that target, Cass?
Sorry?
Can you show how you found that target?
Which one? The top one?
Yeah.
I just like using whole numbers. So the first two I've used resistance, but the second one, so it's 3.5. So I've used a whole number. But in saying that, I will actually have my take profit just below there. So if the wick does, if it does decide to wick up and not hit the whole number, it should hit mine because it's just below the whole number.
Yeah, that's actually a really good point. I used to teach that a lot to people, and lately I haven't been, but I never ever actually put my orders in dead on the support and resistance lines. It's always
just a bit lower to make sure that they hit in case after that they dump.
Yep.
So I'll do sushi tonight. I know that there's a bit of controversy between Skinner and I over this.
Depends on Biddy though. If Biddy goes.
It does all depend on Biddy. So when I start, so I'll just start from scratch. When I start, I draw a trend line. To make sure that it's valid, I make sure that I have 3 touches on it. So here you can see I've got 1, 2, 3, 4. We've actually got a bit of a ascending triangle as well. We've also got bit of resistance there. Sorry.
I'm actually going to chart this up with you on my other screen.
What, and prove me wrong?
No, I'm seeing the same thing you're saying.
Yeah, I'm doing the same.
I'm curious about the Fibonacci on it.
So,
yeah,
depending on the trader that you are, you'll either wait for the break, retest, and get an entry off here. I find coins only pretty much do that only 50% of the time. So if I'm actually confident in my analysis, you know, so I see the uptrend, I see higher highs, I see higher lows, the ascending triangle, I will actually take a entry off the trend line. So, you know, I also like to follow the EMA here, the red EMA, because as you can see, it comes, touches, goes up, touches, and hopefully now we go up. So if I was to take an entry here at like support, I would expect, and I expect to break the ascending triangle. I would have my stop just below the last wick here and then below support, just so I don't get wicked out. It is a big stop loss on this one. I probably wouldn't need it that big. Like if it goes down that far, you know, it's way invalid. I could actually I could probably bring it up. There's a level of horizontal ray. I'd want it below. I'd want my stops below this last week here, pretty much. So I could have it like that. So that's what I'm seeing on sushi at the moment, depending on Bitcoin, of course.
Hey, Cash, while you got that chart there at the,
Yeah.
the $9.60 mark, can you run a fib retracement from that touch to the peak for me?
The $9.60 mark.
Yeah, where you've got like a bit of sideways consolidation. Yeah. Yep, to the peak.
So
It's traveling well with fib levels, isn't it?
yeah, it is. It is. So as long as we don't break, yeah. At the moment, it's looking good.
So do you have the similar method to me in finding trades in the watch list?
Yeah, no.
Show me yours. What's your method?
Totally different.
Good.
So I've got all day, unlike you. So I start at the top and I just go through each chart. If I see something, I stop and I look at it. If I don't, I won't.
And when you're looking at charts, you're generally looking on the 4 hour, because I just know someone's going to ask that question.
Yep. So I'm always on the 4 hour. But when a chart catches my eye, I go to the daily, see where price has been, and then there. Okay, so my colors here. So the purple is what I'm in. So if you go down, the purple is what I'm in. I was in that, but my TP was there. You know, so I'm out of that now. There was one I shared about a week ago, which I can't even remember, which had a huge wick, like green candle, red candle. And I said, watch this because it should want to square up this candle. And it's just flowing. I really wish I could remember which one it was, but I can't. But yeah, anyway, I have them in alphabetical order. The orange ones are the ones I'm watching. The red ones are the ones I'm really watching. And then the purple ones are the ones I'm in.
Sweet.
And that works for me, you know, because I actually have the time to go through them and look at them, because every day something can change. So that's what I do.
Most important trait for a trader is patience. And I'm the most impatient man on the planet, so I don't have time for that. I have to save my patience for my actual trades.
Then you need to get on ASX. ASX will actually teach you to be patient beyond words.
Yeah, I can't do that. All right, Skinner, you're up, eh?
Oh, stop.
Stop sharing.
Have I stopped sharing?
Nah.
Oh no, hang on. Stop sharing.
Where's my share button going? Sorry guys, one sec. You want to see the screen? I'll just talk about support and resistance. It's probably the main thing, the basic thing everyone talks about. It's the bread and butter of trading.
Skinner.
Can't see the chart.
Can't see it? How about now? No chart share?
No, it's still stuck on you.
Am I looking good?
Yeah, you are.
Thank you. Right, hang on a sec.
You broke it, Skins.
Pardon?
You broke Zoom.
Oh, no, I've got too many screens. That's the problem.
Yeah.
Here we go.
Here we go.
My chart?
Yep.
Here we go.
Okay, here we go. Support resistance, I was going to talk about. It's probably the bread and butter of all trading. So that's probably the thing you want to practice nearly every day is looking for support resistance. Resistance is the top of the market, which is up here, and support is always at the bottom. So when you do it, put your line in, you look for the touches at the bottom. So you can see a lot of touches along over here. There's a touch here, so you put a line here. That's resting on support. It's broken through support. It becomes resistance. And see it's hit resistance, it doesn't break. So as Did was talking about, you'd wait for a good break through resistance, like here, the big push, and there's your retest, which then is support, which is then pushing up, looking for your next resistance. So that's the levels at work. So your next level would be around there. So usually when the market turns, that's usually your next high or low for each point. So if you're here, another big push, it says your retest, and then you got your next one probably up here. So it's the top of the market. So it's just you've got a few fake breakouts, a few wicks trying to push, so the buyers are trying, failed, push up, failed again, come for the retest, and then push and then broke and through. Another good way to find it, it is easier as you put it onto lines. So you can see there's touches here, touches from both sides, proves you where there's a lot of money in support resistance. So that's the easy way to do it. Then you put it back to your candles, and you can line the wicks up, the touches from here to here to help. So when they're talking about using fibs, if you get fibs lining up with your support resistance, it makes it a lot stronger. So your 23s around here, so you know there's going to be people watching the 23 fibs and plus the resistance. That's a key area again. More money. Here's your 50, your next support. So you know here people watching the 50 for a pullback, and it's also our support. So there's two things saying for a market to push up. And that's basically, so if you want to starting off trading, I'll be looking, just practicing, just drawing support and resistance lines on every chart for a few days, few weeks, and just going back over time and looking. So if you look left, if you look left back here, you can still see it. They kind of touch back here. It's very too small now. The candles way back here still hold, but you always look left to your touches. There's nothing when it's way up here. You're looking, where is it? You come back here. You see the prices around here now, which is a support right here, which is just above it now at the moment. So just practice looking left. And you got another one here. The tops, the bottoms. First thing, once you nail support resistance, you're on your way. That's probably the main thing in trading, support and resistance. That's basically what I wanted to point out today. And then you got your future fibs, which is your fib marks for your take profits, which you can see is Neo's coming up to a future fib.
I've seen a couple of people ask us to explain fibs. We're not going to do that today, guys. We'll do that in another video another time, but we don't have the time to explain fibs to everyone at the moment.
Yeah, but just even the fibs just help you also find support resistance too with a push. But just practice doing support resistance. And so the higher the time frame, the daily, the stronger it is. Then if you drop down to 4 hour, that's your daily ones, but then you can see there's small ones again here. So then you can say, change your color. Say it'll go to a yellow one. And there's your 4 hour support, your 4 hour resistance. And as you go down, they have smaller support resistance, but the bigger the time frame, the more stronger they are. So these ones won't be as much support or strength. And as it goes down, the weaker they become.
So Skinner, the current price for Neo, what are you looking at the moment?
For Neo,
if someone said to me, Skinner, what's Neo going to do next?
Where it is now, I'll be looking back left here to see what happened where it is here. And it's back in this consolidating area now. So right here, you got wicks here, wicks at the top and bottom. You can go to line. Have a look where the touches are. You can see it's at a key area right now. It's in the middle of touches and bottoms. So I'd say we're coming up to around this area here.
Yeah, I'd say the same.
It's got rejected. So if you come back to candles, come back to where it is. It's probably even wicked up to where it was. Yep, just below it, which I'd always take profit just below the area what you're looking at to make sure you get filled. So you're pretty much at a take profit now. You're out of your trade. As Did said, it's had the big push through. It's closed above. boom, you're out. Probably if you push the fibs on, we're not talking about fibs, but if you do the fibs on that one, there you have future 61 right on it. So the fibs hold big value. Good thing to learn fibs, because a lot of people use, all the big money use it. And that also helps you find your support resistance, because that's where the money's sitting. But so just before it, take your profit, because people start banking for it. We'll probably come back up, retouch, wick to it, and come back down again. But that's your key area for resistance. And then so you're waiting for your next hit support, which will be back here, back to 0, and goes again.
I'm a huge fib trader as well, so I might even put a tutorial together for the group another time.
Yeah, but basically I'd just be practicing doing support resistance, looking left, see where they line up. Because once you nail support resistance, that's half the battle in trading. If you can get that, you don't buy at resistance and you don't sell at support, because it's going your way.
And it's sad because so many people do price that they buy at the top, because that's when they get interest.
Yes.
And then price starts going down, so they all freak out and they go, "Oh shit, I'm going to lose all my money." So then they start selling, and it's those that are buying their coins, they're the ones that are making the money. So it's really important to know those two levels. And I know it sounds repetitive, everyone, but this needs to be drilled and drilled and drilled. The more you hear it, the better.
Be greedy when people are fearful, and be fearful when people are greedy. And that's basically the way it goes. So up here, everyone's greedy at the moment, so get out. Sit in the key area. Wait for the pullback. And that's really what to say. Just practice support resistance on all time frames. But the higher the time frame, the stronger that line will be.
Cool. All right, so we've been running an hour now, so I'm thinking we might skip over to Ads to do his Discord tutorial, and then we'll take a few chart requests and some questions for those that want to hang around a bit longer. By all means, if you do have stuff to do, guys, you can jump off the call. You can go do what you need to do. Don't feel obligated to stay if you don't want to. Hope you want to. Hope you stay. But if you do have other things to do this late at night, by all means, go ahead and do it. Ads will share his screen in a minute and do a tutorial on Discord for you. And then after that, if you want to hang around, we'll do a bit of a coin request, and we'll do some charts and answer some questions for you. All yours, Ads.
All right, so pretty straightforward. I've put the links up in the Facebook group, so you can download Discord. Just click the link, download whatever you're going to be using it for. It's on your PC, or if you've got Android, it's on the store, that type of stuff. And then once you've downloaded it, this is what will pop up. So for people that don't have an account, just hit register. For me, I've just made a new account for tonight's purpose. Hit login, and then one of the first things you want to do, we won't go that status yet, is the bottom left corner. If you hit this little settings here, is just update your photo, just so we can see what your pretty face looks like. And it stops us, because we do get a lot of people coming in, spamming the group and leaving. So if we see you got a photo, it just helps us out a fair bit too. So that's how to download Discord and join Discord. So the next thing is, once you hit that second link I've posted in the Facebook group, it will bring up a little invite saying, "Hey, you've been invited to the crypto den." Oh, look at that. We just cracked an extra new member.
2 members just joined in that time that you did that.
All that loads. My method of trading is I just wait till Doge finds support, and then once I found support, I wait for Musk to do a tweet, and it pumps like fuck. That's when I sell. So that's my trading method. So we got here 2 seconds. We got this one. Now, so on the left here, we've got all the channels. So just minimize it. There's me. So the rules. on the left here, we've got all the channels. So if we have a look at Traders Feed, you can click on that, and there's all the subsections. So here's a bunch of charts and spam I put down, so you can see what I've been looking at, what I'm charting up. Great success, yeah, what my profits are. See what Cass is doing. So that's the chart that she explained earlier. So she's been looking at that for a while and explained it to you guys tonight. Then we've got Did showing off the wank factor, looking at all these pump and dumps that he's doing. So that's where he posts all his stuff. So we've all got our own little channels down here. And then the next one is probably just the general chat. So for all you guys that are new, there you go. This is where you can just live chat, ask us questions, anything to do with what's Fibonacci, when moon, what's Dodge, all that type of stuff. So this is just a general chat. And if you want to, you can click this channel. It actually brings you into a voice channel as well. So it's not very active, but if someone says, oh, can someone quickly give us a hand, we'll jump in the voice channel and just have a chat to you. It's a bit easier to just walk you through it. And then, so here's all the different things. Ask a pro trader. So these are ones for, people that are a bit new and don't know all your basic stuff, or just anybody that wants to ask any questions, you can ask here, and we'll respond to that as soon as we can. And then if we keep following it down, there's other stuff here that we have too. So people that want to show off their trades, their results. This section here, it's like specifically BitMEX, which is an exchange that people use. And then the next one down, it's got about finance charts. This is where everybody chucks their charts in, so it's not just us. We have lots of people posting their charts, asking for feedback or showing us what they're looking at, everything like that. So everybody that's getting into trading and you want to post a chart, ask some questions about it, that's probably a good place to dump your chart and ask for feedback. So if you don't want to see the channels, you can just hit them again and it just hides them. But they're all sort of topics with little subsections down here. So there you go. Man, I know you're in there somewhere. You're the probably person with the dirty mo that I've been looking for. And that's a bit of a rundown. So this one, we post way more charts in the Discord than we do everywhere else. So I've never posted a chart to the Facebook group, but I'd probably every couple of days at least I post charts. Did shows off every single day. And then we got Boss Man Dave in there as well. So what they do is, here we go. Here's Dave posting a chart saying, this is what I've entered, this is what I'm looking at. This is at the time. And then a couple of days later, he said, this is how it's going. And then here's his final big wank factor saying, yeah, I told you all. It happened. All right.
A flex post, man.
Flex post. That's what we're calling them.
If you're not flexing, you're not in crypto. You have to flex.
Yeah, that's right. That's pretty straightforward. And that's the summary of it. It's just a live chat feature that you've got different channels and different sections, a bit more structure, and we're always here. It's attached to our mobile phone as well, so when someone posts in it, it just pops up. So I've got
ads.
Yeah.
How do you set a profile picture?
Oh, I did at the start.
Yeah.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, bottom left. Hit the settings, and then we want to right here, and click that button, and it's upload. And it says, oh, here's what photo you want to upload. So let's keep it G-rated, please. All done. And that's about it for Discord. Just a quick 1 minute walkthrough, because there's a lot of people that haven't seen it or used it or find it intimidating. Once you're in, just keep using it. You'll get the flow of it. And yeah, there's way more content, and there's a whole bunch of there's multiple people here, not just us. It goes off every day.
So one of the things that heaps of people ask in the Facebook group is why are we even using Discord? This is why. So what ads have shown you is everything is categorized into different channels, and we can just post a massive amount of content without spamming up everyone's Facebook feeds. Because a lot of people like me, I use Facebook for personal stuff, not just the crypto den, not just the big group. And I've got over 100 people that have friend requested me that I don't accept that, because Facebook for me is my personal space where on my private profile, I've got pictures of my family and my kid and my wife and all that sort of stuff. Whereas Discord is categorized into different areas, different topics where we can post 20 things in a day and we're not going to take up your news feed. If you don't want to see it, you just don't open the app or you don't open it on your computer. If you do want to see it and you want to keep your finger on the pulse, we are sharing so many charts in there. It's not funny. I think, was it Monday or Tuesday? There were 29 charts shared just from the team. So that's not including other members of the Discord as well. So there must have been a good 50 to 60 charts shared in that one day. And I'm not saying that in the sense that, oh, we're sharing charts, you have to follow what we're doing, or you've got to buy what we're buying and all that sort of stuff. Absolutely not. If you know how to chart, you do what we do. You look at the chart, you go, wow, that does look good. You chart it up yourself on your own chart, and then you make the decision if you want to enter that trade or not. If you don't know how to chart yet, that's okay. If you do want to follow, that's okay too. You don't have to follow these trades, but we're putting them out there for you so that if you do want to take those trades, you can. And as you can see, a lot of them are winning trades. Not all of them are going to win. We get them wrong just as often as everyone else does. I think last week I shared 11 trade setups in one day, and 10 out of 11 went well, and one of them stopped out. This week, I think I shared 9 charts, and I think all but 2 went my way. The rest of them stopped out. That's fine. That's okay. That's part of the game. That's a part of being a trader. You're going to take losses. You're going to get stopped out. So just keep that in mind as well, that we're placing our R&R tool on our charts. Okay, we're showing you our risk to reward ratios, and we're showing you where we're setting our stop losses. And the reason we're showing you that is to mitigate some risk for you guys, so that if you do want to enter a trade there and follow what we're doing, then you can also see where we're setting our stop losses. And it's super important that you're setting those stop losses to those same key levels, because we're identifying those levels for you to protect you and protect your capital. These are our trades that we're entering, and we're sharing that with you. And it's up to you totally whether or not you follow it. But if you do, just make sure you do the right thing and set your bloody stop losses, because so many times I see people not setting stops. You've got no idea the amount of messages I've had. Dave, my stop loss didn't get hit. What do I do? And I say to them, did you actually set your stop loss? And they'll go back through the history and they didn't even set one. So just make sure you're doing that. But that's the reason we use Discord, is because it's so much more user-friendly than it actually looks. The left-hand side, you've got your menu. The middle of the screen is what you're looking at. And the right-hand side is who's online. That's it. It's super, super simple. Once you get used to it, you're going to get a lot more value out of it. So thanks, Ads. I hope that made sense to everyone. I guess now it's up to you guys what you want to do. You're welcome to hang around. I'm happy to take some questions. I'll see if I can I don't want to unmute everyone. Everyone will be talking over everyone. Just jot your questions down in the sidebar, in the chat bar if you want. And if you'd like, Dids will do up a chart for you. Do a chart request, Dids. Put him on the spot.
I just want to say thanks everyone for coming, but I've got to go. It's around my anniversary with my wife, so I've got to spend a bit of time with it. So. But good to meet everyone.
Nice.
Have a good one.
See you, Bradley.
Bye, guys.
Do LRC.
Can I
do it?
Can I quickly jump in? I just want to show this website, the download TradingView list. So
Yep.
Yeah, sweet.
Share my.
That's good. That'll save me posting it later.
Yeah, I'll post it in Discord later. But basically, a friend. Can you see this? Welcome to the sandwich.
Yep.
Yeah. So basically, a friend, Tanil Walsh, showed me this website a while back. Basically, it's made by some guys, and they've put together all these TradingView lists. So you can get all the Binance ones you want, BTC markets, ETH markets, USD markets, and even other exchanges like FTX and I think that's KuCoin. So it's just a really good resource for you guys to download the TradingView lists, and just saves you asking other people for it or writing them out yourselves.
That's awesome, Pete. Can you post the link for that in both the Discord and the Facebook group for me?
Yep, yeah, I'll do that now.
Awesome. Maybe show them how to import it. Oh, you've already got it imported. We've all got it imported. I'll do up a tutorial on a new account if you want.
Yeah, okay, but it shouldn't be too hard anyway. It should just be a matter of click on it, download, and you go to TradingView, click the three buttons up here and go import list. Then you find the download open, and there you go. Like it's all there.
Bang, 5 seconds.
Yeah, so it's not too hard, but I'm happy to answer or help people if they have trouble. But yeah, just put it in Discord and we'll help you out.
Question from Stephen: do you ever do long holds over a few months? Do you recommend for beginners? For me, mate, that'd be a spot trade. Like if you got in a really good entry at a really good price on spot. I mean, obviously you can do it on margin as well, but for a longer term hold or a longer term trade, which I would more so prefer to as a hold, that's more of a spot thing for me. I wouldn't do margin trading over that period of time. Usually the longest my trades last is maybe a week, depending, maybe 2 weeks. That's probably as far as I get. But like I said, I'm a little bit more impatient, and you've got to know your strengths and you've got to know your weaknesses, and you need to play to those strengths and weaknesses. And I know that one of my weaknesses is that I don't have patience. I'm just not a patient man. It's not who I am. So I need to play to that weakness as well. So
Gotta learn that.
Nah, not going to happen, Cass.
It is. It will. We will get there.
Do you guys jump on newly listed coins? God, no. God, no.
No. Stay away from them.
And you know what? That doesn't seem to be a big thing these days, does it? Like, you go into 2017, a new coin listed on Binance, and it'll do like 600% just because it listed. They don't seem to do that anymore, which is a good thing. But yeah, I definitely don't get on newly listed coins on exchange. To be honest with you, I don't even know what half the coins do. 99% of the coins do, and I've made this pretty clear in Discord, and I've made it pretty clear on Facebook page. I do not trade on fundamentals in crypto. I don't give two hoots what a coin does, what they're promising they're going to do, what their technology is. It means nothing to me. I purely trade and make money off what I see in the charts, and that is it. That's where the buck stops with me. As I showed you before when I was going through that watch list, I'm looking at the numbers. I'm looking at the percentage changes. I don't even look at the name of the coin. I don't have a clue what it is. I'm just trading what I see on the charts. So newly listed coins and all that kind of jazz, that means nothing to me, mate. If I were you, I'd just stay away from it. Do I have an average gain goal?
Sorry.
Yeah, you're right, Cascade.
So that question was sort of asked in Discord today, and I totally agree. I don't look at fundamentals. I don't look at what coins can do and what they're going to do in the future, because there's going to be a coin in another month that's going to be able to do what they're doing and do it better.
Yeah. And
most of these
never do anything anyway.
Yeah, and most of these shit coins at the end of it will be nothing. So take the opportunity to trade them, make money off them, and then get rid of them.
And don't buy XRP.
And don't buy that biggest shit coin of all.
Yeah.
That's my personal opinion.
I agree. You all hate XRP. Yeah, we do. Sorry. Not sorry. Okay, let me give you an example, okay? And this is why. I'm not even going to go into detail or anything like that, but let me just quickly show you why. Where's me chart? Can everyone see my chart?
Yep.
Yeah. Look at this, right? Let's go to a 4 hour just to zoom it out a little bit. Sushi, right? Nice, beautiful uptrend. The numbers just make sense, right? Everything's going up. It's pretty smooth. You can see the psychology in the market. You can see people buying. You can see people selling. You can see what's happening. You look at XRP and look at that. Look at that. None of that makes any sense. It's pump and dump. It's scammy and spammy as shit. There's no flow to that. There's no psychology to this. This is orchestrated pump and dumps as far as I'm concerned. You compare that with any other chart and you've got flow. You've got a direction of what the market psychology is doing, because you got to remember, guys, all this candle is the human psyche in numbers. That's what it is. It's human psychology in dollar signs. And XRP is just makes no sense to me. That coin makes no sense. So that's why I hate XRP. It's not just because of, it's fun to hate, which it is, don't get me wrong, but it's because the charts make no sense. The charts mean nothing. It's getting pumped and dumped left, right, and center, and it's market manipulation at its best. Just stay away from it. Craig, I'm talking to you. Craig. Stay away from the bloody coin. What else we got? Good example. How do you stay away from these types of coins? You just stay away. You just have a rule. Don't touch XRP ever. That's how you stay away from it.
Learn how to trade. Don't buy stupid coins that are shilled.
Sorry, I'm just reading the questions. I do have some channels that I've been writing up that is the basics of trading in the Discord as well. So I'll have a chat with the guys as well, and we might release those over the next couple of weeks. Binance, I used to use BitMEX, and then all that stuff happened with the CEO of BitMEX and the SEC in the States and all that, and that spooked me a little too much to keep my funds on BitMEX. So I moved everything over to Binance, and I trade just on Binance at the moment. And to be honest with you, I actually prefer it now. I didn't at first. At first, I thought it was actually pretty rubbish, but now I like it even more than BitMEX. Am I the only one reading these questions? Come on, guys.
It's so much better than BitMEX.
Yeah, I love it. I love coin futures.
There's so much more to offer or on offer. Like BitMEX, you got the certain amount of coins, and Binance, you got endless.
Yeah, I use both still. Just for the fact of BitMEX, you're longing or you're building up BTC. So when BTC is on a bull run, by doing trades on BitMEX, all the wins you make are compiling because BTC is also increasing. Whereas if you're just trading on Binance in USD futures, you're just making USD.
But you can do it in coin futures on Binance too.
Yeah, I stay away from that just because it's a headache to use.
I love it. How do you measure entry and exit prices? Do you stagger? You can take that one.
Yep. All right. All right. So
I stagger.
Yeah.
Depending on the coin, depending on the price, where it is, and yeah. So not all the time, but I do sometimes stagger. So I did.
All right. No, that's all right. So all right. So I'll just take you back to that chart so people know what I'm. If I stagger, it's because I need to. I'm obviously not sure where the price action is going to come back down to. So if I have an area like this where I think, right, there's a resistance, it's in between resistance and it's in between support, and I feel like it could be coming down to there and doing this, or I think it could be coming down to the next area of support, and I just don't know, I might have a stagger in here, like so, and I might have another entry over here, like this. So now this, I don't normally do something like this because it's just, but then you would have to lower your leverage and lower your entry as well to counteract for the amount of stop loss you've got, because you've got 24% stop loss here, you've got 14% stop loss here, probably lift it up a bit, I guess. But you've got this area of support over here, and you've got this area of support over here. How do we know it's going to go to there, or do we know it's going to come down to there and continue up? It's in an uptrend, so you wouldn't be counter trend trading it, but You don't know, and you could miss out. So you would basically, if you're looking at 100%, you would probably be putting something like 25% over here. And on this one, you would probably be putting the other 75%, right? Like you don't put 100%. And at that as well, you're only using 2 to 5% of your account. So you're not going to jump in 100% of your account on one trade. You just don't want to be doing that kind of shit. So jump in with, try and work it out so that if you're staggering your trades, that you've got, say, 25% here, 75%. If you miss out on the 75%, it doesn't come down to your, down and hit that support. Oops. It doesn't come back down and hit that support there, and it only comes down here. You're in with 25%. Now, at that point, if it continues up, remember there's still an opportunity to get in up here. So you might get rid of this one, and if it breaks, it comes down and breaks here, you're back in again up here. And you're going to the next market structure, or you're going to a fib level, or you're going to a round number. You know, it could be 32 or it could be 36, I don't know. But whatever you've, you know, or it could be, like I said, Skinner was talking about fib levels, and David doesn't want to do it now, but I asked on the fib level from the bottom to the top, hits the 61, which is the golden pocket, and it's gone all the way back up to that resistance. Well, a lot of the big money continues all the way to that future 61, all the way up there. So you could actually be in from this 61, waiting a whole 3 weeks or a month for this thing to play out, you know, and get to there. Now, to save yourself hassle, once it does reach a certain point, you want to be moving your stop loss up to break even, so you don't, so if it does come back down at all, you are, you know, saving yourself the hassle of losing a crap load of probably previously made gains.
So for me,
So,
I don't stagger on my entries, I stagger on my exits.
yeah, right. So staggering on your exits as well. Same thing, stagger on your exits. If you, some people stagger in to actually get and not miss out on a trade. If you're staggering out, it's the same thing. You're staggering out, you're taking either you know, 75%, you're letting 25% run, or taking 50% out and you're letting 50% run. If it runs and you've got a stop loss in, say if it runs, it comes down, hits your entry area and goes up. At this point, you'll see it retest and it starts to leave. At this point, you're moving your stop loss up, and you're letting, you could be taking out 50% here, and you're letting the next 50% run. But at some point, you're going to need to take profit. So figure out your take profit, figure out where you're getting in and where you're getting out of your trade. You can't just jump in and just let it run to, you know, to moon Lambo. It's got to go somewhere. So
I see that a lot as well. I do a lot of one-on-one training with teaching people charts and how to trade and everything. And a lot of where people go wrong is they simply don't sell. They don't exit their positions. They get really, really excited. I'm in the green, you know, they might have a 10x on and they're in the green 100%, and they're really, really pumped. And the market hits that inflection point where it turns around and starts going back down, and they get really upset because they go, well, my 100% is now 70%. Now it's 60, now it's 50, now it's 40. And sometimes they wait until it's in the red. And then they freak out and go, shit, I've lost all my money, I've got to sell while everyone else is buying. Like Diz is saying, you gotta sell. You need to actually realize that profit. Don't forget to sell. You don't go broke selling. Okay, simple as that. If if you've got a target in mind and on your chart, sell 50% of your position and move your stop loss up. That's exactly what I do. If I then have a second target, I'll sell 50% of that, which is 25% of my total position when I first entered. And then I'll sell the other 25% of the next one. But all the way up, I'm moving my stop losses up, so that if it does then take a downturn, I'm protected. I'm still in profit. But make sure you're selling, for God's sake, because so many people don't.
Yeah.
Cass, what was your red EMA?
It's 50 EMA.
Oh, I didn't see that. Sorry.
All over it. But someone said, can you chart Unibright? So I said, is that UBT/BTC?
Uni?
Tennille did show me vet. Why does everyone want to see vet tonight?
Some people love
What's
vet.
that? What's that all about? Tennille looks upset.
Show me vet. Show her vet. Yeah.
Tennille, what have you done?
All right.
Vet's mooning, Tennille.
Craig looks like Julian Assange, sitting there with his little dark face on.
So vet, that was the one I said I got out of all the other coins, and I got in on vet last night off resistance, which is now support, and I haven't actually changed that yet. So I'll do that right now. So Tennille,
there was the break and the retest.
Yeah, there's a break and a retest. So she's holding a whole big bag of it, but she can just hold on. Tennille, you can hold on for dear life. This one's to me, vet's awesome, right? Because I use the 200 EMA a lot on a lot of these charts. So I'll just get rid of this box out so you can see it a bit easier, and this resistance line as well. So at this point, you can see that it tests out this 200 EMA all the time, every single time it comes up. Now at this point, it's hit past this resistance level, and it's come back down for a classic retest. It's up again. So I wouldn't. I'm now in break even. I've moved my stop loss up, and I'm now in break even. This one was an easy one. I was literally in like this, and I was in down here with a stop loss. So and it's basically, I'm basically still in on it, even though that's my take profit. It's my only trade that I'm in at the moment. I'm letting it ride. So with vet, I would be hanging on to vet for sure. So, and this is the classic break and retest. If you have a look at the way it broke that resistance, there's a massive green candle right here. Well, it's massive to me anyway. This is 4 hour big green candle break. No wicks, no nothing. Just a big green candle. Worked its way up, came back down, retested, and boom, she's up again. It's not waiting around. So for me, if anything, vet's probably going to be another, couple of weeks before, might be a week or so before I get out of this one as well. So I can probably tell you the 200 EMA will work its way up like that. And it'll most likely retest that 200 EMA and work its way up. So I would be hanging on to that one, and just get your money out of it. She's a good one.
What price are you buying that vet to now?
She's already holding a big bag of it, I think. Is she holding a bag of it? she's loaded though. She's got a hole for another 6 years.
I'll do a quick one for you, Simon. Really, really basic for me on this one. Everyone seen the chart? AAVE.
Yeah.
Really simple, mate. If this level breaks up, it's going to go up. At the moment, I'd be looking for support around here. You're looking at, you can see the pink lines there, a bit of bearish divergence with the RSI, so the strength index. At this point, I would simply say that you're probably looking around 417 for support before a continuation up. So you're probably looking for consolidation with this particular trade, because something I like to do with my charts is find a pattern. I'm not a huge pattern trader, but I do try and pick which pattern most traders are going for this. So for this one, I'd probably be looking at a bit of a consolidation. So a bit of
And the trend line.
Oh, bugger trend lines. I'm sick of trend lines.
And the trend line.
I'd be looking at 417 support there. You know, if you see me draw like this, ignore the timeline. I'm just showing you the price action, so it could be a lot faster than that. It could be straight down here before anything happens. But definitely don't buy it right now. So like we just said throughout this call, it's at resistance at the moment. So don't long it, don't buy it. Just do the weight trade, see what happens next. If it breaks up, wait for a test. If it breaks down, go in at support. Super, super basic trade, that one. I might actually add that to my watch list and keep an eye on it myself. Cool. All right, we've been going for an hour and a half, so I think if there's no more questions, what can share a thought on power real quick? Oh, okay. I'm a sucker for that at the moment.
Same.
You are too?
Yeah, I'm loving it.
Power.
Oh,
Yeah, except you can't do leverage on it. It's the only thing.
I know that upsets me a lot. But
I'm out.
I know.
For a hodl, for a buy and hold,
Yeah.
Power Ledger is just looking prime. Where's my bloody share button?
So good.
If you like holding coins like Tennille for 6 years, this is a good one to get in on.
Yeah.
So look at that. So where's me? Oh, where is it? Yeah, what's that? Nearly. That's a massive, massive consolidation right there. 117 weeks. So this is a weekly chart. So 2 years of just consolidation, sideways action. When this thing gets going, it's going to really get going. The problem with it is, will it be too slow? Is Bitcoin going to top and have its big retrace that we all know eventually is coming, which that could happen at 100 grand. No one knows yet. That's the only downside I see to a trade like this, or an investment, because it's not really a trade for me. It's more of an investment type buy. Is by the time this baby starts to run, is it too late? Is Bitcoin going to take a big downturn? And that's something you need to keep in mind. Because if it does, then this is just going to get worse. It'll go from bad to worse for Power Ledger. That's my opinion on it anyway. But if Bitcoin either keeps going up, keeps having smaller pullbacks like it has been, or consolidates itself, then I think we're going to see huge amounts of capital flow into this. At the moment, I'm not seeing a huge amount of chatter on it across all the social medias. There's not massive amounts of talk about Power Ledger like there once was, but you can see in the chart 160%, 315%, and you're not even getting close to its all-time high, which just for shits and giggles from current prices, let's have a bit of a look. Look at that, 1,000%. So, and as a spot trade, that'd be pretty bloody good, get 1,000% on a spot trade. But again, there's no telling how long it's going to take for that trade. and it might be too late for it. So if you do enter it, just use your stop losses. As always, that's rule number one: protect your capital. Even though you all hate XRP, do you think the price will? Oh, go away, Daniel. No one likes XRP. Dragged up with Bitcoin. Yeah, I think XRP will get dragged up. People are still going to trade it. People are still going to buy it, despite how crap it is.
But it's never going to be the fucking king. It's never going to get there.
Yeah, I know. People think it's the Bitcoin
Oh,
kill.
it's not. It's a shit coin. It will never get there.
Sticks loves trading XRP. You're in pump and dump groups for sure, aren't you, Sticks?
Love trading it, yes. Think it's going to go somewhere?
One
No.
trade on XRP this whole year, and I shared it with the group the other night. I felt so dirty. No worries, Blake.
Yeah, I know you did.
Yeah. All right, I think we'll call it a night, guys, hey?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We will do this again. So thanks, everyone, for joining us. Really, really appreciate it. I hope you got something out of it. I enjoyed running it. I'm sure everyone else did. If you got any questions, join the Discord. There's so much information there. There's so many opportunities for you to ask your questions, share your thoughts, share your charts. You know, it's a lot more user friendly. Make sure you get in there and interact as much as possible. I will give you a little heads up now, bit of a sneaky heads up. There is a mod bot in the Discord. Now, the more you interact, that little mod bot is going to give you points. And one day those points are going to mean something. That's all I'm going to tell you. All right. So the more you interact, the better it's going to be for you. Bloody mod bot. I love my mod bot. Mod bot's the best. So yeah, hope to see you in there. There's a channel dedicated just to asking traders questions. So make sure you utilize it. So thanks again, everyone.
Thanks, guys.
And we'll see you again.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys.
See you later.
Yeah.